Welcome to the Girl Emerge podcast, where we help you heal, pivot, position, plan, and profit from your business dreams. I am Michelle Hill, your host and business launch and success coach, and I'm dedicated, guys, to empowering women to overcome their past traumas and achieve their entrepreneurial goals. In today's episode, we'll be diving really deep into how you can turn your passion into a profitable business. And this is something that we all desire to do. Now, whether you're just starting out or looking to refine your business approach, this episode is packed, and I mean jam-packed, with practical advice to help you make your dream a reality. So, grab a cup of coffee, settle in, and let's get started. Let's talk about discovering your passion. We're going to begin with the most important step, which is discovering your passion. This might seem a little obvious, but it's crucial, guys, to understand and be able to differentiate between what you're good at and what truly excites you. Think about the activities that make you lose track of time, the topics you can talk about endlessly, and even the work that does not feel like work. These are actually the clues to identifying your passion. Take a moment to jot down your thoughts. Okay, get a pen and paper if you're not driving, of course, but get a pen and paper. And if you are driving, make sure you're thinking about this for later on. Reflect on your hobbies, your interests, and even those childhood dreams that you might have pushed aside for a very long time because you thought to yourself, oh, I was young back then. Don't censor yourself, because this is about finding that raw, unfiltered passion that can fuel your business journey. Now that you've identified your passion, it's time to validate your idea. Passion alone isn't enough. It really isn't enough nowadays. You need to ensure that there's a market for what you want to offer. Start by researching your niche. Who are the existing players? What are their strengths and weaknesses? How can you offer something unique? One effective method is to conduct surveys. And I talked about this a lot on my previous episode number 1. Ask them about their pain points and what solutions they're looking for. This will not only validate your idea, but also give you invaluable insights into how you can tailor your offerings to meet their needs. So don't be discouraged if you discover similar businesses. Competition is a sign that there's a market for your idea. The key is to find your unique angle and deliver exceptional value. With a validated idea in your hands, in the palm of your hands, the next step is to create a business plan or a business model canvas, which is something a little bit similar, but it's just a little less work. This does not have to be a 50-page document, but it should outline your vision, your mission, your target audience, your marketing strategy, and your financial projections. Very critical. So think of your business plan as a roadmap. It's going to guide you through the initial stages, and it actually keeps you focused on your goals. Include short-term and long-term objectives. And guys, the most important thing is to be realistic about your timelines and your resources. And let me give you a really quick story, guys. When I was fresh out of college, this was the first time I dropped out of college. This was when I transferred over to the University of South Florida. I had left Jacksonville University. I was in the dance program from the time that I was in junior college at the community college, which was Miami-Dade Community College Wolfson campus. The Wolfson campus was the downtown campus that was completely centered around the performing arts. We had New World School of the Arts right across the street, And so there was a very big dance community in that region. So graduated from there, got my 2-year degree from there in dance performance, and then went on to Jacksonville University and left there after a semester because my teacher was leaving, the one that really made a difference in my life, and I was just the spoiled little brat that was so used to people kind of, I don't know how to say it, people kind of catering to me in the world of dance, but not catering to me. They were really interested in my talent and my growth and the ability to help me grow. And I loved that about teachers, you know what I'm saying? Like specific teachers. And once I lost that, I felt like I wasn't going to be challenged enough. So, long story short, I dropped out I transferred, I transferred from Jacksonville University to University of South Florida after just one semester, which back then was 3 months. Went to USF in Tampa. I felt challenged there. I loved the dance world there for the most part, but the teacher, my ballet teacher, kept me back. She held me back in ballet. She kept me in ballet one, while everybody else, who I believe was not as talented as I was delusional, y'all. Um, you know, they were promoted, and so I just felt like I felt some sort of way. Went to talk to her. She had an explanation as to why she held me back, but nothing catering to her really wanting to see me advance or improve my technique. It was all the nitpicking and all the stuff that made me just drop out. And so I went back to Miami briefly, and that's where I'm from, Miami, Florida. And at this time, my family had built a house in Kissimmee, Florida, had moved there, then I went away to college. So I went back to Miami, and let me tell you something. I had no clue about starting a business, right? No clue. And so, because I didn't have a clue, I was so adamant about finding every ounce of information I could in order to make this so called dance company work. But I had bigger plans, I had bigger visions. I didn't just want to start a dance company at that time. Like, the very first thing I did not want to do was the company. I wanted to start a dance organization of the performing arts, or a performing arts organization. And so I I opted to do a performing arts dance theater style uh, organization. And so my goal, in all honesty, was to, it was so funny, create a dance school. I wanted a school. So what my goal was, and this is going about this is thinking about the realistic part of your goals, guys. Because I like, my goal was to create this performing arts school. I did a whole entire business plan that I knew nothing how to do. I did it. I wrote out this whole entire outline, and really went to I went to the library. I did a whole lot of digging, and I finalized this business plan, or what I thought was a business plan. But guys, it was, let me tell you something, being fresh out of college, not even having graduated, okay, had maybe 5 to 6 years of training, dance training under my belt. There was no way possible that I was going to realistically open up a dance school. But I had such a burning in my heart, completely in my entire soul, for it. I showed my mom, she showed her friends. I looked at buildings. I saw buildings that I knew, like, listen, this was going to be the place. This is where my dance theater company. So I had a lot of tenacity. I had a lot of optimism to make it work, but I had no resources. I didn't have a specific timeline. I didn't have anything but a piece of paper, a little pack of paper that I typed up on a computer and printed out, and saying, this is going to be the start of my dance company or my dance school. And guys, when I tell you, I took that same plan and duplicated it in different ways over and over and over. But I'm going to be honest, The plan was so much more bigger than me. So I had to learn how to be realistic about my resources, my timelines. I had amazing objectives. I had amazing ideas described to the T, but I had not one timeline as to how I can or how or when I could complete this and get it done. And I had not 1 ounce of a resource. I had no bodies in place. I only had maybe a couple of dancers and people that knew my vision and understood it and was willing to be a part of it, but they had no resources either. So you have to be very realistic. That doesn't mean to not set such large expectations and goals and timelines and things, but you have to set the realistic timelines and objectives based on different levels as to where you are. I hope that makes a lot of sense. All right, so remember, you can start with a business model canvas, but eventually you're going to need an actual business plan. And remember, it's not set in stone either. Neither one of them is set in stone. So I would encourage everybody under the sound of my voice to do a business model canvas first. And that gives me a really good idea, as I need to maybe do a podcast episode on a business model canvas. And I'll also do a tutorial in our Facebook group, the Girl Emerge Tribe. So remember, a business plan is not set in stone, guys. It's not the end of the world if you can't achieve something as extravagant as a business plan. Go with a business model canvas. It's 1 page and you put everything realistic on that page. And when you start with a business model canvas, it can actually start in phases. What's the beginning phase? Okay, once you annihilate the beginning phase, you master everything on that phase, do a second one. Phase 2, business model canvas. Phase 3, business model canvas. It's a living document, guys. It's a living document that should evolve as your business grows. Review it and update it regularly. It needs to reflect new insights every single time you update it. And every single time you review it, you should see something in your heart or on that paper that needs to be different. It needs to evolve, okay? And it changes. It changes as your business environment changes, okay? Very important, guys. A business model canvas leads to the actual hard copy of the business plan roadmap. Once you start plugging in everything for that business plan, it's going to be amazing. You're going to know exactly what you're doing. You'll be able to take that confidently into any bank, present it to any other organization that can help you out. So next, let's talk about building your brand. Now, this is where I come in at. This is where I come in at. This is what I have been doing for the past maybe 20 years of my life, building a brand, building several brands, taking people's money to build their brands for them. Guys, the first thing you have to understand, and this is for every one of you out there that is hearing my voice right now, your brand is more than just a logo or a catchy tagline. It's the essence of your business. It's how you communicate your values, your story, and the unique value that you bring to your customers. So start by defining your brand's personality. Are you bold? Are you adventurous? Are you calm and reliable? Okay, ask yourself these questions, write it out. Your brand's voice should reflect this personality consistently across all your marketing materials, all of them. It needs to be congruent. It needs to be the same vibe across your business cards, whether digital or physical. It needs to be the same vibe on your website. It needs to be the same vibe on all of your social media pages. It needs to even be able to come across in your videos, your live videos, your recorded videos. If you're one of those people like myself, you put yourself out there. It needs to come across in your voice. Share your journey, your struggles, your triumphs, your community that is following you for whatever reason, whether they're buying a product from you, whether you're selling a product or whether you're selling a brand. They love that. They want to see the real person behind everything. This authenticity, guys, is going to build trust and loyalty among your customers. It is critical. I saw my company Honey Milk grow when I got on those live videos and I was making products. I was cutting products. I was making them anticipate the cut for certain soaps that I was making the day before or 2 days before. I was making them anticipate the new packaging with the new logo design that I came up with. How is the packaging going to look? Oh my God, the logo was amazing. Let's talk about the packaging tomorrow, guys. I can't wait to reveal this to you. They love it. Again, that authenticity is going to build trust and loyalty amongst your customers. All right. Now, once your brand is defined, it's actually time to market and sell your product. Okay. It's one thing. Let me tell you something. I can design up the yin yang. I can design a whole entire business presence, the identity of an entire brand. I can even design your brand essence. I can design what the entire brand experience. I can do it. I can do it. I can do it with my eyes closed. I can do about 5 of them in a day, a whole entire business plan, a whole entire everything, an existence of a business. I can do it. I've done it. And a lot of those are still sitting right there on the shelf. You actually have to market and sell the product. And this is why I always tell people, stick with what draws at your heartstrings. Stick with that, because you'll waste a lot of time going from business idea to business idea, because it does put a little spark in your heart, guys. And you think that you want it right then and there. Oh yeah, this is going to be it. This is the one. I love this idea. I love it. I love it. But if you have no real passion for it, it's not going to work. You're going to be wasting your time 5 months down the road, when the motivation dies down, when the momentum dies down, when things start going sour, not going your way. Go back to episode 1 and make sure you listen to that podcast. Please, the whole thing. And you'll see why I say that. So utilize a mix of digital marketing strategies such as social media. This is our world nowadays. Content marketing, content is king. Email campaigns, this is how I make most of my money. And SEO to reach your target audience. Those keywords are critical. And knowing when to put them in, knowing where to put them in, if you can do that, you've won. Social media platforms like Instagram, Facebook, LinkedIn, those are all powerful tools, guys, for connecting with your audience and building an actual community of people that love what you do. They love how you show up. They love who you are when you show up. They like, know, and trust you. That's your tribe. Those are your people. Eat, break bread with them. Eat at the table with them. Talk to them. Develop the community around them, because they're the ones that's going to keep coming back. Stop trying to impress everybody. Your product is not for everybody. I'm sorry, it's not. Because once everybody stops buying after the first launch or the week or two, and you don't understand why, you're in big trouble. So learn from the jump to hone in on the person that is looking for what you have to offer. What do they look like? What do they like to smell like? How do they like to dress? Where do they always hang out? How late are they up at night? What interests them the most? All right, share valuable content to that community of people and watch what happens. Engage with your followers, your community, your tribe, and watch what happens. Showcase your products to them in action and watch what happens. In action means you're expressing the benefits of these products. You're not just showing how silky some body butter is or how beautiful it looks in a jar. That's where everybody's going wrong. That's why within 6 months, your business has died down, because once all the fancy lights and the glitter and all that ish no longer interests your customer, you're in trouble. Now they want to know what does it do? What does it feel like? Why should I buy this? It looks cute, but what does it do? Why am I still paying attention to something just because it has bright lights? So make sure you're selling the benefit of the product. I can't even express it any more than that. Don't underestimate, guys, the power of storytelling in your marketing efforts. That is something I have come to realize is so important. It is so critical. You notice I always have a story for you. And the reason why I always have a story for you is because I'm trying to make a point. I am a visual thinker. I am a visual listener. And it is so important for me to be able to paint a picture when I talk, because that's how I receive what you're giving me. I paint a picture. I like to know that something goes together. So as you're talking to me, I'm imagining what you're saying in my head. I know that sounds weird, but I do. That is the only way I learn. That's how I was able to master, not even master, I shouldn't say, because I wasn't all that, but I was an amazing dancer because I imagined what it felt like, the technique that my teacher was giving me. I had to imagine what it felt like, what she was saying, like whatever she was telling me, whatever she was saying to do, I had to imagine it. I had to put it in my soul. I had to put it in my feet. I had to create some other entity in order to grasp certain dance moves. I had to give myself that soul in order to execute certain dance steps, in order to execute or even to understand certain techniques. Don't underestimate the power of storytelling. It's not just talking, guys. It's a visual thing. People are visual creatures. They're visual creatures. Use testimonials as well, case studies. Do behind the scene glimpses. That's something that I'm very big on, to create a connection with your audience, with your community, with your tribe. Make them feel like they're a part of your journey. That is so critical. It's important that they feel like they're in the room with you. When they see you come across their feed, the first thing they're going to do is click. And then you entice them so much. You've told us such an amazing story where they're going over to your website to buy the thing. All right. Very, very, very important. That is super important, guys. That's marketing and selling your product. Very important that you understand that concept, guys. So let's finally discuss managing your finances and actually scaling your business. Guys, listen, financial management. Oh my gosh. Financial management is crucial for long-term success. It is critical for long-term success. This is something that I could not grasp. I couldn't grasp the idea that this was something that was so important for me to excel in my business. I just couldn't. I just thought maybe if I just keep swinging it, it's just me. I don't have to, I don't have to worry about anybody else, and all I have to do is keep my little products, in stock and da 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 da. Listen, failed every time. Every year I was failing until 2020. Every year I was failing, and I started my business in 2012. Okay? Financial management is dire. Keep track of your income and your expenses. They need to be separate. Make informed decisions about where to invest your resources. My goodness. Guys, it was not until recently, maybe the last 2 years, where I really started getting super tired of struggling in my business. Everything that I made in the business was going back to the business, at least 75 to 85% of it. Granted, it was working really well for a very long time. But those moments of struggle where I got comfortable, like I was half dead over here, y'all. And I'm being very, very transparent. I was half dead because I got comfortable. Don't get comfortable. This is an ongoing thing. You cannot invest and be so excited and super inspired, super motivated. The momentum is awesome 1 month, and then the next month you get very comfortable because you think you've already put something in place to keep things, running like a well-oiled machine. And it's just the furthest thing from the truth. As your business grows, you have to consider ways to scale efficiently. Oh my goodness. This might involve automating certain processes, outsourcing tasks, or hiring additional staff. Focus on building a strong foundation that can really support sustainable growth. Now, that does not mean that it will be seamless, but it will be foundational and it will be manageable. You're building. When it comes to scaling, just think of it as building, not digressing. Like, I'm not going backwards to making, a one loaf of 10 soaps. I can't do that. My community won't allow that. So I'm always going to be building my business. Always. So listen, this may involve things like automating certain processes, outsourcing tasks, hiring people. Again, this will involve, guys, I hope you hear me. This will involve automating certain processes, hiring additional staff, outsourcing tasks. You have to focus on building a really tight grip, strong foundation that can really support sustainable growth. The way you can do that, guys, and I can be so honest with you in saying this because I have scaled about 3 times so far. And every time I scaled, it was a process. I had to be absolutely sure because at that time when I did scale, the first time my business was not making a lot of money because I wasn't managing my finances, and I continued trying to wing it. So for me, once I got really tired of I'm going to say a better word, sugarfoot and everything, that's when I had to start really focusing and honing in on building sustainable growth. And how can I support that? How can I continue showing up for my customers? It went back to my finances every single time. Michelle, you need the cash flow for Honey Milk to grow. You can't keep taking $100 here, $400 there. Every time it comes in, you take it and you just, let me buy this, and that, and the other with no real plan. All right, guys. So listen, keep an eye on the industry trends, and you have to be really open to innovation. If you learn how to stay adaptable with forward thinking, you're going to allow yourself to stay competitive and continue meeting ever evolving needs of your customers. That is how you do it. That is exactly how you do it. So if you're really serious about turning your passion into a profitable business, you have to understand these things. So there you have it, guys. A comprehensive guide to turning your passion into a profitable business. So remember, guys, listen, this journey requires patience, perseverance. It requires a willingness to learn and adapt. There is absolutely nothing wrong with that. But with passion as your driving force, there's no limit to what you can actually achieve, guys. There's no limit. So thank you so much for tuning into this episode number 2 of the Girl Emerge podcast. If you found this episode helpful, guys, please subscribe, leave a review, and share it with others. Share it with other aspiring entrepreneurs that are out there, people that you know can really use the information and the guidance. Be sure to join our community on social media at Girl Emerge Co. and stay connected for more inspiration and actionable advice. Until next time, keep dreaming, keep planning, and most importantly, keep emerging. This is Michelle Hill signing off. Take care, guys, and let's make those business dreams a reality. Bye.